Greetings from Policy Advocacy Research Center. My name is Ruchita Rani, and on behalf of PARC, I welcome you to this presentation. We are presenting an opportunity that opens up a new geographic frontier to expand the scope of your enterprise. PARC is facilitating this for the growth and development of the investor's enterprise and for the growth and development of industry in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. We have studied two mutually aligned and interdependent documents and present to you a proposal for avenues of investment in the form of the Jammu and Kashmir Industrial Development Scheme and the Land Allocation Policy. The former gives us the modus of incentive, while the latter is the framework where it can be implemented. Let us understand what they have to offer. JKIDS provides incentives for this. What is JKIDS? The new Central Sector Scheme for Industrial Development of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. JKIDS has been launched by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Government of India. Here, investors can avail of incentives for establishing new units or expansion of existing units in the manufacturing or the service sector, that is, the plant and machinery or the building and other durable physical assets. This scheme, JKIDS, is valid for 16 years from 1st of April 2021 to 31st of March 2037. The registration period is for 3 years from 1st of April 2021 to 30th of September 2024. The registration will be completed by 31st March 2025 unless extended by the authorities. So how do we go about it? Application for registration along with a detailed project report, bank appraisal report, the infrastructural, financial and other relevant documents are to be submitted through an online portal jknis.dipp.gov.in. Assessment, approval and grant of registration of the unit will happen by the Secretary Level Committee for investments up to 500 crore rupees or the Chief Secretary Level Committee for investments exceeding rupees 500 crore. Dispersal of all incentives will be only through the e-transfer to the unit holders' bank accounts and will be done by the Jammu Kashmir Development Finance Corporation Limited, that is JKDFC, or the Government of India authorized agency. There are 4 incentives provided under the scheme. First is the Capital Investment Incentive, CII, Capital Interest Subvention, CIS, the third Goods and Services Tax Linked Incentive, GSTLI, and Working Capital Interest Subvention, WCIS. So let us understand these. Capital Investment Incentive. Here, new and existing units that are undertaking substantial expansion with an investment of not more than rupees 50 crore in the manufacturing sector and investors making an investment of more than 1 crore rupees in the service sector will be eligible for this incentive. The incentive in Zone A will be 30% of the investment in the manufacturing sector and up to a limit of rupees 5 crore in the service sector. The incentive in Zone B will be up to 50% of the incentive for the manufacturing sector and up to a limit of rupees 7.5 crore for the service sector. The next is the Capital Interest Subvention. Here, interest on loan from the scheduled commercial banks or financial institutions registered by RBI disbursed up to a maximum principal amount of rupees 500 crore for investment for new units will be eligible for this incentive on the loan availed on investment for the manufacturing sector or construction of building and other durable physical assets for the service sector with an investment of not less than rupees 1 crore. The capital interest subvention for 7 years at an annual rate of 6% with the disbursal of amount being after commercial production starts. The next is the Goods and Service Tax Linked Incentive, that is the GSTLI. New units registered under JKIDS, irrespective of the value of investment in the manufacturing sector or in the service sector, and that have a GST registration will be eligible for benefit under JKIDS to the order of 300% of the eligible value of investment. The value for the manufacturing sector as well as the service sector will be as per the eligible value determined under the capital investment incentive or the capital interest subvention, whichever is applicable. All the eligible units will be granted the Goods and Service Tax Linked Incentive equal to 100% of the gross payment of GST paid through cash and input tax credit for a maximum period of 10 years from the date of commencement of the commercial production or operation or till the validity of JKIDS, whichever is earlier. The amount of incentive paid in a financial year will not exceed 1/10 of the total amount of eligible incentive under this component, subject to full payment of GST as per the GST return filed for the claim period. The quantum of incentive will be the same irrespective of the fact whether the unit is located in Zone A or in Zone B in Jammu and Kashmir. In case the gross GST paid by any unit in a financial year is more than 1/10 of the total amount of the eligible incentive, the balance can be carried forward to the subsequent financial years. Further, in case the unit is unable to claim full eligible amount of the incentives in the first 3 years, the same can be carried forward to subsequent years but not beyond the eligible period of 10 years or beyond the validity of the JKIDS. Next, we have the Working Capital Interest Subvention, that is the WCIS. All existing eligible units in Zone A and Zone B can avail interest subvention at 5% on the working capital loan for a maximum of 5 consecutive years from the date of the grant of registration, and even when they are undertaking substantial expansion with a maximum benefit being rupees 1 crore in 5 years. In case if the annual rate of interest charged by the bank falls below 6%, a minimum amount of 1% per annum of interest will still have to be paid by the eligible units. The following services will be eligible for benefits under this JKIDS. Which are they? The tourism and hospitality services, which include health and wellness tourism. The services that promote film tourism, including film cities, studios, ropeways, entertainment parks and rides, heritage property restoration services, healthcare services, IT and ITES services, maintenance and repair services, freight terminals, logistic parks and warehousing. These will include the cold storage services, testing, R&D, analysis and certification services, and educational and skill development services. So this is the service sector. Now the following industries will not be eligible for benefits under the JKIDS when it comes to manufacturing. That is any other industry or activity which is placed in the negative list through a separate notification, which when considered by the Government of India is necessary. It will be effective from the date of such notification. So all goods that fall under Chapter 24 of the Central GST Tariff Act 2017, which is related to tobacco and manufactured tobacco substitutes. When it comes to pan masala, as covered under the Chapter 24 of the Central GST Tariff Act of 2017, plastic carry bags of less than 20 microns as specified by the Ministry of Environment and Forest notification, that is the notification number 705E dated 2/9/1999, and SO, that is the order 698E dated 17 June 2003, and any of the subsequent amendments. Now, goods that fall under the Chapter 27 of the first schedule of the Central Excise Tariff Act of 1985 produced by the petroleum or the gas refineries, plantation refineries and power generating units which are above 10 megawatt, coke including calcined petroleum coke or fly ash, units not complying with the environmental standards or not having applicable environmental clearance from the Ministry of Environment and Forests and Climate Change or State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority, that is the SEIAA, or not having the requisite consent to establish and operate from the concerned Central Pollution Control Board or the State Pollution Control Board, also will not be eligible for incentive under JKIDS. Then the low value addition activities in goods like the preservation during storage, cleaning operations, packing, repacking or relabeling, sorting, alteration of retail sale price, etc., which take place during the high value packing and processing. Gold and gold ore will be exempt, will not be allowed. Molasses, marble, travertine and granite, revolvers and pistols. So manufacturing of any of this will not be there. Now, for further inquiries and clarifications on this, you can contact Policy Advocacy Research Center by sending an email to us at director.parc@parcfornation.org or ruchita@parcfornation.org. This is a concise of what this scheme JKIDS has for us. Do get in touch. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Namaste.